right, boys and girls, let's get started here. So again, this is your lab for your baked chicken Primavera. Okay, it's for this week, for week 27. Okay, on your lab planning sheets, you should be taking care of your name. Make sure your name's getting on there. Again, I believe it's week 27, your respected period as far as the hour that you're in. Okay, and then obviously you guys know your group numbers. Okay, and again, if you go back into the first week when we got back from break, you'll see in the folders in Schoology where your spreadsheet is with your names and what group you're in. Okay, as far as if you look for the purple, you'll see the group number, but you should already know that. Okay, your recipe here is going to, and again, the recipe is in the Tuesday folder along with this video right now. Okay, so your recipe is the baked chicken Primavera. Your yield, if you're with me, my class, Dawson's class, it's going to be for 6. Okay, if you're with Hernandez's class, we have 9 stations of 4, so again, all 4 of you, like I said, there's 4 chicken breasts total, so that means on Hernandez's side, you'll have 1 per person. On my side, what you're going to do is you'll have 4 chicken breasts. We're going to cut them in half after they come out of the oven. That means we have 8 halves. That means each of my students will get 6 halves. There'll be extras. You guys will divide that out amongst yourselves, okay, however you want to do that. Okay, so again, we've gone over the name, the week number, the period, the group, recipe name, your yield. Again, we've gone over that. Your side work will be up on the whiteboard in the room. For my class, it'll be in my room. For Hernandez's class, it'll be on yours. My class, we have 6. Hernandez, again, you have 9. So again, it'll be on the whiteboard. Look to the whiteboard. If it says number 1, you know, it'll tell you what it is. Make sure you write that down under your side work, okay? Ingredients, let's go over. So again, ingredients here, okay, you're gonna need the 4 boneless chicken breasts. That's 4 of them, okay? I don't necessarily care about the weight. I care about how many you get. So again, you need 4. From there, you need 1 zucchini. Okay, from there, we have 3 tomatoes. Again, you see only 1 on mine. The thing is I'm only gonna do this 1 time. You guys are gonna duplicate it 4 times. Obviously, you have 4 chicken breasts. I only have 1 chicken breast, right? I'm only gonna do 1. It doesn't make sense for me to do a demo and have all 4 of these chicken breasts here lined out and everything ready to go, and then what do I do with them? Because again, it's just me here. So again, I'm only gonna do 1, but you're gonna duplicate it 4 times, okay? But again, you're gonna need the 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. You're gonna need the 1 zucchini, okay? And you're gonna need the 3 tomatoes, the 2 yellow bell peppers, the half red onion, the 2 tablespoons of oil, the 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, kosher salt, pepper, 1 cup of your shredded mozzarella, your parsley, your 1 cup of rice, and your 2 2/3 cups of chicken broth in your stock. Again, these ingredients are found in the Tuesday folder in Schoology. Okay, you'll see a picture in there of what it will look like, what you're gonna do. Okay, I'm just going over with you guys so that way when you're watching this, you know what to do. You're going through the lab planning sheet. You're getting everything filled out on my lab planning sheet here, okay? Last lab, I am still waiting for those that did not turn in their lab planning sheet to turn it in. So again, make sure that you're paying attention. Make sure you're getting this stuff down, because again, if not, and it's gonna, you don't turn it in, you'll be in the red, and then you won't be cooking. You'll be doing the alternative assignment. If you're in the red, just understand you're still on the hook for doing the lab planning sheet and doing the alternative assignment. Okay, that's not open to the debate, negotiations, or none of that stuff. Okay, so again, you'll still watch this video, you'll still take care of your lab planning sheet, but then when you show up on Wednesday and you sign in, you will be handed the alternative assignment, and you will take care of that instead of actually cooking with the rest of your group. So again, you're not showing mastery, you're not taking care of business in the classroom. All right, so again, please make sure you guys are checking your grades. Please make sure that you're going back and taking care of those things. I'm the one who's grading all of that. So again, keep on that, okay? So again, we've gone over ingredients, we've gone over that top part of that lab planning sheet. Now, we're gonna flip it over, and now we're gonna go over the tools and equipment here. Right away, you can see my yellow cutting board, you can see my green cutting board. You can see I have 2 knives. Underneath, I have my anchors, okay? So again, nothing moves around, all right? From there, I've got my sheet pan, half sheet pan, lined with parchment paper, all right? And understand, this is a full, right? We fold it in hamburger style. It fits right in there, okay? We don't need to tear it. We don't need to cut it. No muss, no fuss, all right? From there, I've got my liquid measuring cup for my stock, okay? 2 2/3 cups. Do not grab this and start measuring out 2 2/3 cups. If you do, understand this is a dry measuring cup, okay? Last time I checked, broth is a liquid, so we have to grab a liquid measuring cup, which is this guy right here, okay? Already loaded, ready for me to go. From there, measuring spoons. I actually have a bowl with all of my ingredients in it. So again, mise en place. Remember, French term for is everything ready? Do you have everything out on your stations looking like mine? That is what I need. Again, here's another dry measuring cup, 1 cup. Cheese is dry, right? Another measuring cup right here. Rice, okay? This is my trash bowl. You guys don't need a trash bowl. You guys have the trash cans. If you're on Hernandez's side of the kitchen, you have trash cans on the side. If you're on my side, they're in the middle of your station. So you guys are okay there. From there, you need this guy right here. If you look on the bottom here, it says a 3 quart. It says right there. Make sure you grab the 3 quarts, the bigger one. You will also need this guy right here, which is a rubber spatula. Yes, you will need chef's knives. You will also need, we call this a turner, or some of you know it as a spatula. All right, so you're gonna need this. This is how we're gonna pull our cooked chicken breast off of here and put it on our plate of rice. All right, if there's anything else as far as tool-wise that we need and I come across, I will let you know, but I think this is pretty much it, okay? All right, so again, to recap here, we've gone over the top part of the lab planning sheet here. We've gone over ingredients. We've gone over our equipment and tools back here on the back side. Now let's go over the HACCP, H-A-C-C-P. First of all, we know we need to wash our hands. We know if we have long hair, we need to have our hair up. Gloves on, as far as if you have nails. Me, I'm just putting gloves on because again, I'm trying to stay safe with working with chicken right there. Okay, so gloves on if you have nails or you're painting on your nails. As far as in my classes, as far as all classes, Hernandez included, if I see your phone, if I see gum, if I see your AirPods or any of that stuff, those phone, AirPod, gum, 50% off right away, okay? You also need to have your apron on. Make sure that you have an apron on, okay? Washing hands, cross-contamination. Look, I got 2 boards right here, right? Raw chicken over here, vegetables are here. We do not want to cross them. So again, cross-contamination. We don't need it, we don't want it. All right, make sure you have that written down under HACCP. All right, now brings us to the demo, the part of the demo where we are doing the actual instruction part. So again, we just finished up HACCP, H-A-C-C-P, so now flip that lab plan sheet over and let's get going on the directions. First things first, okay, we need to make sure that that oven on is at 400 degrees. That's 400 degrees. Okay, my oven's on already. Make sure your oven's on. You need to have it on. Why? The first thing, why is that the first step? Because you could get all through all this prep and all this mise en place and all that stuff, and all of a sudden go into the oven, the oven's ice cold, and now you got to wait 10-15 minutes for it to come up to temperature, and that could cause you to not make the allotted amount of time that we have in class together. So again, that could cause you to fail or get 50% off on your lab. You don't want to do that. So again, make sure that's on there, okay? The next thing is your chicken breasts. I only have 1, you'll have 4. What I got here is I got paper towels here to kind of dry it off, especially if it's kind of like in its own juices and all that stuff. Again, make sure, again, that's why I got gloves on. Just take a paper towel real quick, dab, 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 dry, dry, dry. Okay, there it is. There's my chicken breast right there. Garbage can right there, okay? On my correct color cutting board, all right? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick this knife up. Now I'm not going all the way through, okay? As far as I'm not making fajita strips. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make little scores in it, all right? So again, it will not be falling apart, it will not be strips. So what that looks like, here we are. I don't know, about a 1/2 inch in between each score. again, if I show you this, it's scored right there. So again, you can see through it, but again, it's still intact in one breast, okay? So there is that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna take my gloves off because I just touched chicken. All right, so now gloves are off here. Now I'm gonna take some salt. Go ahead on the chicken breast. Again, that was a pinch. Got a pinch of pepper here. And do a pinch of all my herbs, all my spices, pinch of everything. So again, we got one side done. Now we need to flip it over, do the next side. All right, so again, wash my hands, put some other gloves on right here. Now I'm gonna flip it over here. And I only did it with one hand here. This hand's still clean here. Get rid of that other glove. Got rid of it, still got this glove, right? So I'm gonna take this hand now, salt, pepper, pinch of every seasoning. Okay, now at this point now, take it from here and put it on our sheet pan lined with parchment paper. Now I have one, you're gonna have four, a total of 4 on this. Okay, now at this point in time, clean as we go, right? Somebody could be at your station right now, cleaning this up, taking care of the knife, pulling it, whatever they need to do. All right, so recapping here, chicken breast is now scored, seasoned, and on my sheet pan lined with parchment paper. Again, I only have one, you're gonna have 4 here, okay? Now comes the veggies here, okay? So now these veggies are gonna be cut in such a way that we're gonna put them in the scores, in the cavity here. When I cut it in half like that, they're gonna fit right in there, okay? So here we are. We're gonna take care of our zucchini here. Cutting off the ends. Cutting it in half. And then from there, I'm gonna cut them right down the middle, lengthwise halves. So again, 4 quarters equals $1. All right, and again, if you notice, when I start cutting it, there's my moon right there, my moon shape right there. Now again, probably about 1/4 inch cuts. And again, set yourself up on your board for success. That way you can cut as you go. Again, setting myself up here, and again, about 1/4 inch cuts. And this is what you're after right here. The moon shapes, we'll call them. And again, you guys have 4 chicken breasts to do this to. I only have 1, so I'll just cut them up so you guys see. What they look like on my board. Practicing good knife techniques, holding the knife correctly. Right, remember this is how we hold the knife right here. Correct way. What I don't want to see is something like this where we're pointing, we're not accusing anybody with the knife, pointing it. If I see that, I'm going to come through with my red magic marker and I'm going to color the top part of your finger right here so you never forget it. That's not how we hold it. All right. So at this point in time, I'm just going to leave them on my board here so you guys can kind of see what's going on. So again, there are your zucchinis. All right, I'm gonna go after the tomato now, okay? So if you have your tomato right here, I'm gonna cut it right down the middle. Now remember, we have where it hangs from when it was grown, right? And we have, we'll call this kind of like the end of the butt, okay? From root to root, we're gonna cut right down the middle. And then we're gonna cut down the middle again, but again, anchor side down. So again, you got 50-50 right here, right? And again, cut them in the middle. Cut them in the middle. And then from there, I'm gonna fillet out the guts. So again, I know some of you will be like, that's a waste. Well, in the culinary world, this is not what we're after. What we're after is the membrane part. Again, get all the seeds out of there. I don't want to see any seeds in there. So again, this is what we're after right here. Again, get all the seeds, clean it up. Notice how everything's going into my trash bowl right here. You guys can do this right over with your trash cans. Stay clean. Again, if it looks like your station, like a bomb went off, I'm gonna take points away from you. All right, so at this point in time, notice how I'm laying them on my board, right? Lengthwise going this way. And I'm gonna pull off about the same thing, 1/4 inch cuts. They should almost be like strips. So again, what you're looking for, something like that, strips. All right, next, we're gonna go ahead and go after the bell pepper here. So again, same thing. What I'm gonna do is I'm cutting around the bell pepper as it goes around and around. So again, what it looks like is right here, right? So I cut off one of the ends right there. There is where it hangs when it's growing. Okay, and I'm just working my way all the way around it. What I don't want to see is any seeds or anything like that. And then obviously we got to get this white stuff out of that membrane right there. Get it out. Fillet it out. Same thing, I'm gonna set them all up on my board for success here, and then I'm gonna go after, almost like the French fry cut, the fajita strips. So again, what you're looking for, like I said, full fajita strips. So again, we got our zucchini, tomato, our bells. Last but not least here is our onion, right? So again, I believe you guys needed a 1/4 of an onion, half a red onion. So again, half a red onion. Remember, there's the hairy end, the root end, and then there's this guy right here. We're gonna go right down the middle here. Follow the lines of the onion. So again, here's the onion, right? Now I got halves. And again, root end, the butt here. And again, following the lines of the onion. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the end that is not the hairy end. The root end, I'm gonna leave it. Okay, there it is. That's the root end. We're gonna leave that in. We're gonna cut off the other one. And now we're gonna pull off the skin. And you should be left with this guy right here as far as how it looks. Now at this point in time, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the root end. There it is. Again, following the lines of the onion. So again, my lines of my onion are following right here. Okay, those are the lines, so I'm gonna follow them. Again, about 1/4 inch cuts. So what you're left with, kind of like strips. What I'm gonna do is I only want the strip part of it. So the rest of it, this middle section of them, I'll get rid of that. Because again, what I'm interested in is right here, the strip part of it. So again, go ahead, clean it up a little bit. Like I said, we want to get rid of this stuff right here. We're not going to use that. Again, we're just after, like I said, the strips. All right, so now recapping. All our veggies are cut down. The only thing that's left is the parsley right here. Again, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna alternate. I'm gonna basically put like zucchini, then I'm gonna go tomato, then I'm gonna go red onion, then I'm gonna go bell peppers. And I'm just gonna keep alternating, right? It should be colorful through this chicken breast when you go to put them in those scores. Remember, we scored it up. So again, if I take like 2 of these, and again, I got gloves back on. So what you should be noticing here, see if I can get this closer. No, I'll flip the camera around for you guys, okay? Again, this would be for the rest of your chicken breast and all that stuff. And again, if you need to kind of come through in here and be like, you know what, this could be a little bit more in there. Okay, great. You can throw more in there, okay? Let me flip that camera around for you guys. All right. So to recap right here, if you notice, like I said, I got colors. They're alternating right here, right? They're sitting in the scores. Didn't go all the way through it. So you'll have 4 chicken breasts just like that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw a little bit more salt and pepper on top of the veggies, okay? Try and stay away from as much as you can of the chicken breast, just because again, we already got seasoning on that guy. All right, so here we are, pinch of salt going on. Going on the veggies. Pepper, pinch. All my seasonings, a pinch. All right, so again, before we go to put it in the oven, a little bit here, okay? We're gonna take some of this oil. I'm gonna chef it up here, okay? Just a little bit on top here of the vegetables. Then from there, I'm gonna take my cheese. Again, you guys will have 1 cup of cheese. Me, I'm just gonna take enough to sprinkle on the top. And then from there, in the oven. We put it in the oven, according to my recipe here, at 400 degrees. Okay, we're going to cook this thing until it is 165 degrees internally. Okay, so 165. So I'm not going to tell you a time. You know, I can sit here and say probably anywhere from probably 15 to 25 minutes, but again, that's a huge window. So this is where you need to have that probe as far as your thermometer. So you're not seeing it here, but I will get it. But again, thermometer, you'll be able to probe it and make sure it's at 165 degrees internally. So make sure you understand that, write it down, star it, whatever you gotta do to make sure. Because if not, You know what's gonna happen if this thing's not at 165 degrees. We get salmonella, we don't want any of that stuff, okay? So, in the oven, 400 degrees, here we go. All right, so you can notice it's in the oven right there. Doing its thing. Okay, while this is going on now we're gonna get started on the rice. All right, so chicken's in the oven, doing its thing. Now we need to start on our rice. So again, over here in our pan, over a medium to a medium-high heat, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start our rice. As far as turning it on, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put our chicken stock in there. What I want to do is I want to bring this, I want to let a little heat get to it, and then I'm going to add my rice in there. So again, we said 1 cup of rice. So here's my rice, here's my 1 cup right here. Going in. Again, make it true. There it is. All right, so again, maybe about a minute or two over the heat like that. Again, it's nice and warm. Put my rice in now. From there, I'm gonna pick up my rubber spatula just to give it a little bit of an agitation here, just to kind of mix it around a little bit. And then I'm gonna let the heat, the liquid, and do everything right there. Okay, about 15, 20 minutes, or until it's cooked, it's done. So how do you know when it's done? Taste it. All right, if when you taste it, it's still crunchy, that should tell you that, hey, we need a little have more time. If it's not crunchy, it's nice and soft, fluffy, as rice should be, then we're done with it, okay? Next thing I'll say is, while it's doing this right now, right, it's kind of doing a simmer right there, right? I like to throw a little bit of salt in there, just a little bit, not a lot. A little bit of pepper. All seasonings, I give about a little bit of a pinch. Not a lot. Because again, you got sodium content in there with your chicken stock, your broth. So not a lot, just enough. Now, while this is going on, chicken's in there. Great time now to start working on your garnish. Your garnish is the parsley here. Okay, what I don't want to see is this guy right here. Right, we're going after the flower part, the pretty part. This will throw away. So again, I do not want these at all. Just the pretty part. All right, so now everything's thrown away, everything's ready to go. As far as now, we need to go ahead and we're gonna mince this down. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna literally push all this into a bunch of a ball. You can see right there. Okay, and then I'm just gonna run my knife through it. And then, like I said, I'm gonna start mincing. Again, practicing knife techniques again. Look where my fingers are at up top, right there. You see them. It's my fingers not pointing. It's pinching at the bolster. Okay, and then, like I said, my left hand is keeping the tip and the point on the cutting board, and then from there, I'm rocking it back and forth, mincing, 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 mincing. Right about there, I'm happy with that. So again, we're gonna leave this here on my board. There it is, it's already been minced up. It's ready to go now. All right, so I just checked on the chicken. We're still good. We're still not where it needs to be internally and all that stuff. Checking with the thermometer and all that stuff. But also right here, I've just been kind of taking my rubber spatula and kind of just agitating it just a little bit, not a whole bunch, because really we don't need to do much with rice. I just want to make sure that it's not sticking to the bottom of the pan. We're not scorching it, you know, and making a bigger mess there. Again, we have our parts here. Again, don't forget these guys too, as far as on your equipment list too. You need hot pads, and obviously we talked about the thermometer, the probe. All right, so I pulled the chicken out. I'm gonna probe it again. Here's my probe, right? So again, remember that when we're probing, we wanna probe into the meat like so. We don't wanna go this way because then you're getting the heat from the sheet pans. And again, I'm sitting at 175 degrees, so we are there. All right, so chicken, rice is done, tasted it. It's not crunchy, we're good to go. Got my garnish right here. The tool that I did for you to get to tell you guys right here, add this. You need a serving spoon. Don't care if it's got the slots in it, the holes in it, or if it's solid or complete. Just get a serving spoon, okay? You're gonna take your rice first, right in the middle of your plate. From there, chicken breast. Right on top. And then from there, got to get that garnish on there. And then I'll flip this camera around and you guys can see it. All right, so here's what you got. Again, rice is on the bottom. Chicken breast is laying right on top of it. It's giving us height. Looks like a good presentation, right? You can see all the colors in it. You see the garnish in it. Now the only thing that's left to do is just taste it. All right. So again, tasting. Let's do it. So again, chicken's flaky white. It's one dang good yard bird. Who knew eating so good would taste so good? Other than that, that's your guys' lab. That's what you're making. Hope you guys enjoy it. Again, it relates back to nutrition, what we've been talking about the last couple weeks. So get to it, get your lab planning sheets completely filled out, and make sure you're ready to turn them in at the end of lab. Again, don't forget when you're figuring out your team, right? You're staffing, you're making sure that everybody's got a job as far as executive chef, sous chef, BLC, KM, and all that stuff. But the tasking out part, this is what you do. These 1 through 6 right here, that's what you do at the start of lab. The end of the lab, clearly you just saw what I was doing. I was eating and I was cleaning up. And then in the middle of the lab, you just saw what I did as far as with all the prepping and all the cooking and all that stuff. So all that lab planning sheet should be filled out front and back.